I don't know if this will be able to be picked up on the microphone, but in typical cross-flux tabletop tradition, I'm about to crack the first drink of the night.
I did hear it.
There you go. It's official now.
You can hear something. What it is open to interpretation.
Tis official.
That is the sound of the aluminum can being cracked open. I believe that's what the kids call cracking a cold one with the boys.
The boys, yeah.
Am I cool
so
now?
cool. So
Man.
Guys, the AI called me. He's leaving for Mars.
Oh,
He's already
okay.
had enough.
Okay, you will ruin that in 3 years.
Yeah, we'll get there one day.
He left a virus behind.
No, we can't get there anymore. Musk is too busy trying to make Twitter into a moneymaker. Come on, guys. Mars is no longer cool. Making Twitter monetized. Yeah, that's cool now.
That's where it's at.
Just not that there's a supercomputer inside of it. That's just running simulations.
Well, we all know that Elon Musk is really just using Twitter as a way to generate enough money to complete his dream of bioengineering cat girls.
You better. But
I mean, that's
if
one way
he
to
really
go about
was
it.
doing that, if he was really doing that though, he could just tell us and we'd all pay a subscription service. Hiding it isn't the correct way to go about this. I mean,
That's true.
He said, "Hey guys, I'm making cat girls. Help
Well,
support it by
shut
subscribing
up and
to
take
Twitter."
my money.
I'd be like, "Yeah."
Yeah, it's like, yeah, here you go.
You know, instead of like a blue check mark, just make it a blue harpy and be like, "Here, guys, everyone who subscribes gets a little blue harpy."
A little blue anime waifu.
I mean, who would say no to a little blue anime waifu?
It's got jiggle physics and everything.
Now you got me.
That's all you had to say. I suppose we should all probably introduce ourselves. And then, besides that, we should quickly go over our characters and quickly figure out how our characters are. Like, do you guys all know each other? Or are you meeting for the first time? Stuff like that. So, I guess I'll go first. You guys all know me, obviously, as Crossflux.
I'm Broken Ideas.
Yeah.
I am a YouTuber.
I'm a YouTuber.
I do the YouTubes.
I'm gonna go next then. I didn't know if we were just all going for it. I apologize. Hi. In real life, my name is Garrett. I am not a YouTuber. I don't do anything. I work, and that's about it.
You actually work for a living instead of YouTube,
Quite
because that's how society views it.
I'm a real estate agent, if anyone wants to know.
You're a contributing member to society.
That is a false... You making false assumptions about me, miss.
That is lies and slander.
I will not accept that in my house.
Wait, real estate's a real job? I thought it was just something you do to get rich.
No, we do that, yes. It's basically legal theft.
Oh, that makes
Are
a
you
lot
gonna
more
pay
sense.
me for showing
there
you
you
your
go.
future house?
Yeah, we're on very, very good standing with all the lawyers in the world as well. It's all just one big pyramid scheme.
Oh, you're all in cahoots with one another.
Cahoots!
Okay. Cahoots!
Of course we are.
Cahoots, I say.
You can't just handle the money.
Think about real estate agents, though. It's true. It's like why it's important to find a good job, and real estate agents who do their job properly are an asset. You literally have to think of describing it as, is this your house? No, but I'm going to make money for selling it anyways. Yeah, this house, pretty nice. It'd be a shame if I sold it.
And then I get a really big straw man to come in and break their kneecaps.
So wait, is your job real estate agent or mobster? I got lost in that.
What's the difference?
True. Oh, I didn't even introduce myself. I just went to the shenanigans. I'm Ball14, aka Twilight Azure Gaming. I'm on YouTube as well. I do not break people's kneecaps unless they talk bad about my waifu or about my games or about anything I enjoy or love. And I don't sell real estate. I sell people's souls. Thank you very much.
Oh, okay, that'll come in handy.
Ugh.
Yeah, that is pretty useful, though.
It's because I'm a ginger. I don't have a soul, so I
The
get
people
jealous.
that I sell real estate for? No, I was gonna say, can you sell me the souls of the people that I sell real estate to?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Oh, then you double the money.
As a soulless
There you go.
ginger, I just collect them as a hobby too.
Gotcha, that's fine. You're already in on the club. Trust me.
Alright, boys, he's in.
We got him.
He's there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got
Alright, this is gonna be great. I like this already.
Yeah.
Alright, so, I believe, well, Garrett, I don't think you technically posted your character in the Discord chat just yet. That's fine. If you guys want to quickly just describe your characters to one another, that way we all have an idea of who's who and kind of what the party dynamic might be. Because ideally the way this is going to work is as the narrator, GM, DM, mastermind, whatever you wish to call me for this, the laws that be, I am everyone and anyone that is not you. So I will have split personality disorder, and I will try and keep things in line.
Fantastic.
Hold on. You're everybody that isn't us? Oh my god. Crossflex might be my waifu. Help me!
That is true.
That is very true.
That is actually something
He
that
will
could
be
happen.
every waifu in the game.
Yes, that's literally the case.
I mean, I am not above stooping to that level in previous campaigns we have run, so.
No, you have not. You made that quite clear.
Mm-hmm.
Many past characters.
Ah, Vilbert and his antics.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Let's not speak the name Vilbert.
Yep. Wrong world. Maybe if the Traveler gets isekai'd to Polaris. I believe we introduced ourselves in the order of BrokenIdeas, Garrett, and Bolmong, so I guess we can do our characters that way too.
Oh, sure. Yinshen is a young man, probably like early mid-20s, something like that. He was an orphaned little boy, and he was taken in from the treasure hoarders. They're like bandits from a really young age. And that's where he learned all of his skills. Traveling, fighting, sneaking, some outdoors.
Survival skills.
Survival skills.
Yeah.
He knows really basic survival skills. You could probably say he's close to a rogue, because he did more of the skirmishing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He uses a polearm. His vision's electro, so he zips around with little lightning bolts really fast.
Okay. And how would you describe your character, like, combat style? Like, does he rely a lot on his vision, or is he more of a martial kind of character?
I would say martial arts enhanced by vision, so
cool. And
he uses it more when he darts around, so kind of like almost teleport. Go bzz, bzz.
Cool.
If you know Kaya from the game, his personality is a little similar to that. He's a little cheeky.
A cheeky sneaky.
Sorry, he's a cheeky sneaky.
Wait, what'd you call?
A little snarky.
Yinshen, the cheeky
Might
sneaky.
be
Trademark.
a wee bit flirty with the ladies. Not too much.
Ooh la la.
He's no bard, but a little bit.
Yeah. Alright, sounds good. And then hopefully we'll develop everybody more as the story goes on. I'm really excited to see kind of what kind of stories that you guys are going to be coming up with. Because one of the design rules I live by when it comes to tabletop is, as the narrator, my job is not to come up with the story. My job is to come up with the plot. It is a subtle difference. You guys are in charge of the story, because you determine where you go and what you do. And it is my job to give you plot hooks.
It's our job to give you grief.
No pressure, but yeah, you guys are in charge of the story.
So it's our job to ruin your ideas and plans that you have plotted out. And
plans that I have spent hours
everything on the spot.
And then I have to completely wing it last minute.
Yeah.
Alright, Garrett, who are you playing?
I am playing a character named Heine Westenfluss. I am a young man, if we're giving ages, probably about like 18, 19 years old. He's a young, scrappy little guy. Previously a Knight of Favonius that has now taken on the life of an adventurer mercenary type character. Generally easygoing guy. He doesn't really stress about really anything, but that's just because he's a lazy ass guy. So, he doesn't have much really letting him down in the world. He's kind of more of like a delinquent. Generally just goes about life in any sort of manner he sees fit.
Sounds like a good drinking buddy.
Exactly. There you go. As I'm now, thank you. He uses a claymore and has a pyrovision. Sort of more of a free-form style combat style. He doesn't really take to any sort of like stances or anything. He sort of goes in with a bit more of a roundabout way of doing things that can get drastically more extreme given certain situations.
I apologize. I've been calling your character Heine, but it is Heine. Is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Like the ketchup.
Heine.
I couldn't tell if it was Teen, Heine, or Hiei, like from Yu Yu Hakusho.
Oh, okay, yeah, no.
I think I already have a nickname for your character.
Confused by the first name, and yet nothing about the last name I just mentioned confused you all in the slightest.
I don't pay attention to last names. Yinshen doesn't even have one. He's an orphan. I don't think he knows what his original name was. Probably should have mentioned he's from Liyue originally.
Yes, from Liyue. Oh, yes. You can probably get into that when your characters know each other. But yes, Bulmong, who are you playing?
So my character's Azure Hirotaki. Pyrovision, but his pyrovision is very unique as he sees two different colors in it, but that comes from what he is. He's half Oni, half human. His story kind of dictates everything of who he is and how he behaved. Simple enough, he was found by a wanderer at an abandoned, destroyed Oni village. It was raided, and pretty much he was raised for the first 14 years of his life by this wandering samurai. And unfortunately, Genroku, who was this wandering samurai at 14 years old, had, while trying to find Azure's family, his surviving grandparents, came across a man in a white cloak and an armored soul. Very armored person who not only slayed his master, destroyed the only mask that Azure has, but now Azure has pretty much only two goals in life: to hunt down that who killed his master and to find where he comes from.
A lot of intrigue there. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is very much, when I was writing the character, I think I became very much a little into detailed and made it very much a very dramatic, dramatized character who seems to be singularly focused at times.
There's nothing wrong with that for this sort of thing. So,
Nope.
yeah, I kind of like it. I feel like there's a good mix of personalities and a little bit of inadvertent similarities between characters. Kind of, you're all sort of this mercenary, free...
We're all kind of wanderers.
Wanderer type. So it definitely lends to the whole adventuring thing. That way, I can put you guys in all sorts of situations, and it makes sense.
We're all just a bunch of misfits.
Yeah.
I'm not just a misfit. Nor am I just a nitwit.
You're gonna be sued.
You can start singing,
Yeah,
right?
immediately demonetized.
Yep,
We weren't monetized anyway.
Oh, I should note one thing about Azure. I did mention that his master was killed at 14. That was 2 years prior to the start of this, so he's actually 16.
Okay.
Well, gee, Shin
All
Chen
right.
is
Well,
the
Broken
oldest character
Ideas
here.
is going to be the old man keeping these young whippersnappers in line.
I have to ask, because he is 16, is he still going through that ratty teenager, age phase thing that every teenager goes through?
First of all, it's not a phase.
Yeah, Mom, it's not a phase.
What? You just don't understand me, Ma.
No, pretty much he was never raised in any, like I said, for the first 14 years, he was raised by this wandering samurai and taught how to survive the world. The last 2 years, he hasn't even hasn't had the chance to be a normal kid. It's all about survival and trying to find the mysteries, the two mysteries he has in his head. So, no, he is overly focused.
Nice.
Well, I guess he'll have these two cheeky, goofball, lazy distractions getting in the way.
Yeah. So it sounds like Azure is actually the one taking care of these other goofballs.
I also think it also lays credence to the fact that he's also part Oni, is that his human side dictates logic, but his Oni side also does love aggression and fighting. So
Mm.
there are two sides. I know, like we said in Discord, we included music to represent the character. I really did try to show that when he's not in combat, he loves mysteries and stuff with the song I chose, and then with combat, he's very much, I'm going to enjoy every last minute of this.
As most Oni do.
Yeah, very much so.
One quick thing I would like to quickly flesh out with your character, Balmung, is obviously being an Oni, he must hail from Inazuma, which is an island nation separated from Mondstadt. Given that the story is going to be starting in Mondstadt, I guess we could quickly go over maybe how he wound up here.
Is it during the Vision Hunt decree?
Currently, the setting is going to be shortly after the game's events start. So I will say that the Vision Hunt decree is currently in effect.
Yeah, because it was started like a year before the game started.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was something like that.
It was either 6 months or an
totally-
year before the
something
game
like that.
started. We can kind of help fill in a little bit of lore gaps if you need help, but yeah, just did Azure, take a boat, sneak out of the country, wind up on the mainland, and just eventually wander to Mondstadt? Was he looking for something in particular which caused him to leave the nation, or...
Well, I actually think it fits into a story, because in the story itself, I don't want to read the whole thing, but obviously he's found in a destroyed village. The wandering samurai takes him away because they are looking for his grandparents who are hidden with the Blue Oni, who settled somewhere that they don't know.
Indeed, that's
It
true.
actually says, without going into it,
So yes,
so it
the
makes
Blue
sense
Oni
that they went
doesn't
to other
necessarily
realms.
have to stay in Inazuma.
Yeah, and the fact that the Blue Oni left to be more separated, especially this group, would make sense that they went to a different land where they could truly be hidden.
We do know the Blue Oni have basically always historically been exiled from more the public image.
More
Yes.
so than even the red ones.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So the fact they'd be off island, and the Wandering Samurai probably knows this, like I said, they went on many adventures together for, 14 years. So it would not be surprising that,
You've been, you could possibly have been in several of the nations already just throughout your journeys.
so it's very much so where I've left personally space in his character, jumping 14 years, jumping 2 years to leave space to have things he could discover about himself, but also that mainly the fact he's been going off of rumors of Blue Oni villages. Anytime someone possibly thought they saw a Blue Oni, he would show up to look.
One last thing is, do all three of you know each other already, or do you want to start this session with, you all happen to meet each other and you're meeting for the first time?
We are, I think we're all kind of Wanderer-esque. I think it would be a hard stretch to say we all knew each other, but I don't think it'd be a hard stretch to say that we've all heard of each other some way or another.
Yeah,
At least if we've all been in Mondstadt.
Yeah, at least if you've all been in Mondstadt for, at least a little bit of time, you've probably at least heard of each other.
Yeah. I take it we're starting in Mondstadt then.
Yeah, we'll be starting in Mondstadt.
Is it going to be
I will
Angel
quickly go
Share?
ahead and state the setting is Mondstadt, specifically, I'll say about a month after the game's events have started, which is to say that the Storm Terror thing has just recently been quelled, and Mondstadt is back at peace again.
Nice. Okay.
So, yeah, I was kind of conflicted about kind of how to handle the backstory to the setting. At first, I kind of wanted to be all like, oh, well, let's just pretend the Traveler never showed up and just do that. But then I felt like, well, all the big events of the game would kind of be an issue. So it would sort of be like, you guys would need to deal with them, otherwise they wouldn't get solved, and then we're just kind of retreading the story of the game. So, I personally feel it would be best if we say the Traveler does exist, the story of Genshin Impact is happening behind the scenes, and we're kind of just exploring other characters and smaller things, and not even necessarily smaller things, other big important stuff that's just happening behind the scenes.
That the Traveler never spotted.
Yeah, the Traveler never saw, because what happens in Mondstadt when he's busy in Liyue? Or in Azuma? I mean, he's gone for months at a time, so...
Mostly a lot of festivals, I imagine.
Yeah, just backtracking for festivals.
Yeah.
Thank you, teleport waypoints. Alright, so that being said, if you all are ready to start, I figure what's more cliche for a tabletop than having everyone's characters meet at a bar?
Angel Share or Cat's Tail?
Yeah, Angel Share or Cat's Tail.
Straight to the Dawn Winery. Go straight to the source.
Yeah, just go straight to the Dawn
Just
Winery.
knock on Delu's door.
Alright, well, to be fair, I've only got one map. It's gonna be
Your
Angel Share.
finest bottle.
I was railroading you all from the start.
Crossflix, sir, I have one question.
Anything to do with the fact that we don't actually know what the inside of a cat's tail looks like?
Yeah.
It's true, we don't. We don't have an inner model for that.
Exactly.
How do I make these images smaller? They're kind of taking up a lot of the screen.
Oh, I think you
Top
go
right
to
hand
your
corner.
settings.
My setting.
Yeah, you go to the top right, go to settings,
okay.
graphics, I think.
Is it miscellaneous?
Or maybe
No.
miscellaneous.
I didn't.
Wait, so what are you trying to do?
There's also the magnifying thing at the top right-hand corner of the actual game window itself.
I don't see how to change it.
So is this the point when we just throw up the technical difficulty screen, or?
Regular.
Oh, I see it, yeah.
Yeah.
Small.
So that way, yeah, less
Okay.
of the screen is taken up by
Yeah, I've got it
stuff.
small.
I shall set the scene. Angel Share is the largest local tavern in the City of Freedom, Mondstadt. That being said, the Mondstadters are known to love their alcohol. As a result, the Angel Share is quite busy most nights, even without the constant festivals of Mondstadt going around. Mondstadt has recently received a bit of peace regarding the quelling of Storm Terror, the once mighty guardian of the region, having been quelled by the mysterious traveler known only as the Honorary Knight of Favonius. Tonight, currently, there are many patrons visiting the bar, and the poor old bartender Charles he has his hands full. Three particular tenants are seated somewhat near each other. That would be Yinshen, Heine, and Azure. The night has just begun. It is still young in the evening, and I will leave it up to you guys to decide what it is that you're doing, how to talk, and whatever it is that, you want to do. I am good at talking.
Yinshen is sitting at the bar. What a shot. He has a few empty little shot glasses by him. He looks kind of bored. He's kind of just swaying back and forth in his stool. Maybe almost topples over at one point. And he just looks a little bored.
Heine is sitting across the bar from Yinshen, not really paying attention to him, having a conversation with Charles, the bartender, going on and on about particular things. Roughly along the lines of, Charles, listen, I know my status as a knight isn't really there to give me a discount anymore, but these prices are outrageous.
Heine, you know I don't have anything to say about that. If I were to give you a discount, there's no telling that I would be able to hide it from Master D-Luke. He'd tan my hide.
And then he sinks back into his drink.
Azure approaches the bar, goes up to the barkeep and asks him about a rumor about a blue-only village hidden up near a mountain nearby.
In between serving another glass to a customer right next to where Azure is standing, he kind of looks Azure over and doesn't really recognize his appearance. He seems a little foreign to him. But he still gives a friendly smile and says, I'm afraid I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yinshen looks Azure over, notices that his clothes look pretty weird for someone in Mondstadt, much like him, and overheard the stuff about the Oni village. He was like, Oni? Don't those only exist in Inazuma? What would they possibly be doing in Mondstadt?
Azure looks at the mysterious figure talking to him. From his cloak, pulls out an Oni mask, flashes it, and says, "They're everywhere and nowhere," and puts the mask back in.
Yinshen attempts to inspect it with his eyeballs as much as he can before it's taken away. And seems to be pondering something.
Azure heads back to the table he was originally sitting at, pulls out a map, and tries to figure out where he needs to go.
And glances over in Yinshen's direction, overhearing the conversation, being the distance between them, of course. Just gives the calm remark, "You make it sound like that's so weird to see a bunch of different people wander around Mondstadt. It is the city of freedom, after all. You'll meet a lot of characters if you know where to look."
That's very true. But Oni are not quite the same. They're more of a mythological creature, if you will. It would be like saying you'd see an Adepti in Mondstadt.
Oni, Adepti, it doesn't really matter. As far as I'm aware, we're one of the only nations that has a dragon flying overhead.
Who knows? Teyvat has gotten quite strange these days. Maybe there could be Oni living here.
Charles will take a moment to head over to the table that Azure sat down at, and will ask him if there's anything that he would like to drink.
Azure declines, saying that he may have found a location that he believed could be the Blue Oni village. As he prepares to pack up and leave, he makes sure the map is safely stored, makes sure everything's in place as he heads to the door, looks at the two people he heard over talking about the Oni before exiting and waiting outside.
As Azure's leaving, Charles will just call after him. "Well, I hope you find what you're looking for. If you need information, there's the Adventurers Guild. Of course, some of the knights here." And then glances over at Heine. Would probably be willing to lend a helping hand.
Charles, why do you make me sound like I'm such a bad guy over here? I'm still offering my help to the people. I just charge them.
Yes. What a wonderful knight of Favonius. Just like Master D. Luke's brother.
Hey, he's a great cavalry captain. He's so good that he doesn't even need any cavalry.
Oh, I see the savagery is already flying in this campaign. Good job, GM.
I couldn't keep it out for too long.
That's true. At this point, Heine gets up from his seat and begins to follow Azure out of the building.
Yinshen finishes the last drop of his most recent glass, making sure he got every drop, and then also heads out.
Just outside the Angel's Share, you see Azure is still within the vicinity, and that there are a couple other patrons coming close to the entrance to the building. They appear to be adventurers of their own right, and they look to be in a very sour disposition.
Of course, it's adventure.
That dude looks like he's a heavy drinker.
Just
Look
adventures.
at him. Definitely a problem. He's troublemaker right there. Definitely doesn't look like a Boy Scout or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I looked that bland, I'd probably drink too.
All in the hat.
That's how his personality's made up. He's a hat boy. That's all he's known for.
Yes, he wears a hat.
There are worse things to be known for than a hat, but yes, it would be better if he was known for more than a hat.
Can we overhear?
Yeah, are they complaining about anything in particular?
Yeah, the guy is definitely complaining quite a bit. He is whining about how they don't know how they're going to pay their rent, and that he's just kind of rambling. You can tell he's drunk already.
Oh,
he was most likely kicked out of another bar somewhere nearby and is coming now to the Angel's Share.